My name is Kevin. Welcome back to Nocoly Live 6. So today's topic is about creating board and calendar views with Nocoly HAP. So in today's live, I will speak about two main functions. The first one is to introduce the basic fields of concat and foreign field. And the second one is to introduce to you all table, Kanban board view, and the calendar view. So in these three views, I will speak about how to track the interview stages of candidates in table view. Number two is how to track the interview stages of candidates in Kanban view. And last but not least is to track the scheduled interview dates in the calendar view of this app. So now I will go back to the app that we have created last week. And in the app we have created last week, we have to go back to the edit form. From the edit form, before we create or start using the foreign field or the concat field, we will first use the members field and also the date field. And the reason is because in this application form, you will realize that I may have the hiring manager's name or the candidate result, candidate comment, but I have not confirmed who is the interviewer for this candidate. So I've selected members and I've actually renamed it as interviewer. And for the setting, I have selected it to be for permission is only allowed for members to be the interviewers. That means members in the organization chart, as I mentioned last week. And also for the default view, value to be current user only. And then after that, if you realize in this application form that there is no interviewer date for the candidate. So in here, I have selected the date for the interviewer to select which date is the best date to interview the candidate. So in here, the setting I select is date and time. I don't put any default value, but I would like it to be hide when adding a record. Okay, so now we can proceed to use the two basic functions that I'm going to introduce now. The first one is the foreign field. So in the foreign field, it's actually a little bit similar to relationship. But for this one, we can actually specifically just select one single field from the hiring manager field that we have associated. That means in here, the hiring manager, we have linked between the applicant's information worksheet and also the staff worksheet, which is the other worksheet that we have. And we have selected it to be a single row and also the different type of field that we have selected to display. But foreign field is a little bit almost similar, that in this foreign field, we can actually select it based on the hiring manager. Let it load for a while. And in here, maybe we can just select one single field that we would like to show in this applicant information. Maybe for this case, I just would like to see the reason modification time. The reason modification time. Hold on. Yep, reason modification time for the field name. You can, of course, select other type of field, but maybe for this case, I just would like to see when was the modifications time for the staff worksheet happen. And this one is the same. I would like it to be hide when adding a record. Okay, let's save it first. Then another one is that, as mentioned just now in the slide, I would like to use this concat function. So this concat function sometimes can be a very important feature for application form. So for this one, maybe I put it as application ID. Okay, so in here, the way to use this field is that you can select a different type of field and we can just use our own format to set how we want the application ID. Because concat is about, it's like using two different type of field and we name it as we can rename it as the title or the format of your application. So one example, maybe if I have the app ID of the candidate, maybe I would like it more than that, like app ID underscore and also the interview date. So in this case, we are able to know that this app ID is for maybe this full name, this candidate. But after app ID, we also know that underscore interview date is the date that the interviewer will interview this person. So maybe to be more specific, I can add another field like um, underscore the, let's say I just choose full name. Yes, full name. So if I want to test it, I use this hide when adding a record also. So when I test it in the worksheet, imagine I've just put one Jack, for example. In here, in the form, we created the interviewer field. So this interviewer for Jack, maybe for this one, I will take it myself. So current user is myself. And then the interview date, I can choose maybe on the 10th of April and the date that I would like to interview Jack, maybe 1:30. Okay. So you can see the application ID of Jack is based on app ID, which is this one, app ID, and then underscore the interview date, okay, the date and the time, and also underscore Jack. So I can see this is the app ID, when is the interview date, and the interview candidate is called Jack. Then I can press save. Yes. So in here, same for other cases. You can just select, maybe for this one, I just put Gunter. Then interview date, I put somewhere any date. And you can see immediately the application ID is updated. Okay. So this is the ways for you to use concat and foreign field. And now I will just proceed to the different part of our life today, which is to introduce to you all the views, the default view that you can use with Nocoly HAP. So a little bit of a general introduction to this default view for Nocoly HAP. You can see many different type of views. You have table, Kanban, calendar, gallery, details, organization chart, map, Gantt, resources. But for today, I will just introduce to you these three features. Of course, there are different features that I'll introduce to you in the future life, but these three features are very powerful and user-friendly tool that you can use with Nocoly HAP. Okay, for this case, let's choose table first. So once you have selected table, you can see that we copied the same worksheet as the main table here. And in here, you can start to do configuration based on your requirement. Maybe this one, I just want to put pending first because I would like to create a filter, the automatic filter, to actually select only candidate where the interview stage is pending. So in here, I press save. And immediately from the filter, currently there is no candidate that is at interview stage pending. But it's okay. Maybe we can test. We try to use some cases from the worksheet to select candidates that is pending at interview stage. Okay, so maybe this one I put my name, I select an interview date, and then yes, save. Yes, you can see Lenny's name is updated as pending. So we can see immediately that without needing to filter in any place, immediately at table view, we can see who is the candidate that is pending for interview. Maybe I do another example, which is almost the same, but at interview stage 1. So in here, I do the same as pending filter, which is I select stage, and then I select interview 1, and press save. Okay, so currently there's no candidate that is interview stage 1. So maybe I try to select one candidate here, maybe like Sophia, this one. I put some resume in. Confirm, put a number. Okay. And then I put as interview 1 and candidate is still pending. Interviewer is myself. Interview date, I put any date. Okay, save. Oh, this one. Okay. So in interview 1, there's one candidate called Sophia. Copy. Okay, so this is how you use table view with Nocoly HAP. So now I'm gonna introduce to you another strong feature called Kanban view. Okay, I'm sure many of you would know what is this Kanban. So it's actually basically it's called display data in cut format for more flexible allocation. But to really understand it, you just need to click it, and then immediately you are able to select you want to actually group which field for your Kanban view, because Kanban view is like different data like cuts in different stages of your, maybe like in interview stage, you divide it into different groups. I mean, just to be easy for you to understand, for this one I select stage also. Okay, from stage you can immediately see that who are the candidates is still pending, interview 1, interview 2, or even candidates that are completed. Okay, so if let's say Victor C is already complete, has completed all the interview stages, and the interviewer thinks that, okay, I can hire him, he will just select this as complete. Okay, and then he put pass, and in here he said, good, we'll give offer letter, and he can just save. Okay, so in here, the Kanban view, immediately it is updated to complete. So for the hiring manager or the HR that is looking for all the candidates, we are able to see, oh, we have 32 candidates that are not specified yet or not selected for interview. And then how many candidate is still pending for interview? How many candidate is in interview stage 1, interview stage 2, and how many candidate has completed and passed, and we would like to give them an offer letter. So this is how Kanban view looks like, very user friendly. And then another one, which I mentioned just now in my slide, which is to use calendar view. So if you look back in the form that I've created, I have actually created an interview date. So in this calendar view, maybe I would like to know that me, the interviewer Kevin Go, have how many interviews I have in this week or next week. Okay. So for this case right now, maybe when you have selected calendar, there's this pop-up that shows start or end date. So far for this case, you don't have to worry about it. You can just select interview date as the start date first. End date, you can just leave it as nothing. Then you select confirm. Then I said, okay. Immediately, by the time I selected the filter, I can show that, oh, I have interview on Thursday, Friday for Lenny, Saturday with Victor C. But I find it very weird because I think some are for Gunter's interview. I think for this Victor C is for Gunter. The interviewer should be Gunter. And because the user is me, Kevin Go, I would like to see why Gunter's interviewer or interview candidate is in here. So I find it very weird. I would like to know how can I filter based on the current user's interview schedule. So for this case, you can also solve it by configure view, and then you select filter as well, just like table view and Kanban view. So in here, you click add filter, and for the filter case, I would like it to be for the interviewer, which is maybe me. I would like to only see the list of my interview candidate. So I select current user. So this means that when interviewer is current user, the calendar will only show what the current user's scheduled interview list, interviewed candidates are. So I press save. Okay, and the moment I press save, you can see that Victor's interview is filtered out. So this is how we can actually use the calendar view, Kanban view, and table view and in here. So today's introduction to use concat and foreign field, table, Kanban view, and calendar view is very simple. I think before I end this live today, I hope you all can click like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website www.nocoly.com. I think for today's live is this much today. See you all next week. Bye-bye.